Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. This is my latest tips and tricks guide for pickpocketing from any trader in Baldur's Gate 3, including ones in Baldur's Gate who are surrounded by other NPCs. I'm splitting this video into 3 sections. The first 2 are tricks you can use to prevent getting caught, even if you fail your pickpocketing attempt. But as a warning, they may be patched out at some point. For the last section, I show some tips on how to pickpocket 100% legitimately. My first method will work on any trader in any location. It requires you to have someone who can cast Feign Death and Fog or the Darkness spells. You could also use the Darkness Arrow, but it is not as effective as the spells. As a note, this method does not work on Honor mode, so use my timestamps below to jump ahead to the next tip if you like. This method works best if you have 3 different characters, so you can do it all in turn-based mode with 1 person for each spell and 1 to actually pickpocket. But you can just do it with 1 person as well, which is what I show. To get set up for this, you first need to have a friendly reputation with the trader, so go into the barter screen and donate some items to them. You just put the items you want to give to them on your side of the trade screen and hit barter without balancing the offer. This donates the items to them. Depending on your level, you will need to donate several items to them to get a high enough reputation. You must also have the good reputation with the person casting Feign Death, so make sure it's that person who talked to the trader and is donating items. I recommend donating items that are easy to steal back, such as potions or low-level scrolls. Once you have them in a friendly state, anything in the screen reputation area, you can now cast Feign Death on them. And because this is a friendly spell, you can do it in full view of others without any repercussions. If you have 3 characters doing this, enter turn-based mode now and cast Feign Death, then Darkness, then have your rogue start pickpocketing. If you are doing this as 1 person, cast Feign Death, then Fog or Darkness, then crouch and finally enter turn-based mode as fast as you can. You want to be quick because the spells only last for 10 rounds, which is about 60 seconds if not in turn-based mode. Now start pickpocketing. You want to make sure that you right-click and select pickpocket, otherwise you will accidentally help them and wake them up. If you use a controller, it should be the X or the square button to access this menu. You will want to start with the easy stuff first. Items with a 5 or lower skill check are best, and then work your way up to the harder items, depending on your pickpocketing skill level. If you fail an attempt, just end turn-based mode, crouch again, and then re-enter turn-based mode as soon as you are able. You can now try again. You could also just end your turn, then crouch and pickpocket on your next turns, but I found exiting and re-entering turn-based mode to be faster for me. While you are stealing, just be sure to watch the countdown on your spells. You want to leave the area before they end. I recommend leaving when it gets to 2 turns left to give yourself plenty of time to leave before they wake up. If they wake up or the fog ends while you are still pickpocketing them, there is a good chance you will be caught. This next method works best on traders who are secluded, so no one else can see what you are doing, and it requires you to have multiple people to work. For this one, you cast Hold Person. If you are doing it in a busy location, you will need to cast Darkness or Fog as well, which will limit the time you have to 10 turns. In this case, start by entering turn-based mode, then cast Darkness or Fog Cloud, then have someone cast Hold Person, but make sure they are not in sightlines of anyone. You can check this by holding Shift on PC. And now you can start pickpocketing. This works best if you use Darkness and use a Warlock with the Devil's Sight feat so you can cast Hold Person inside the Darkness area. If you fail a pickpocketing attempt, you can exit turn-based mode, crouch, and re-enter turn-based mode, then try again. Or just end your turns and reset. Just be sure to keep an eye on the timers for your spells, and leave the area before they end to avoid being caught. And be cautious because the trader does get a chance to break out of Hold Person on each of their turns. If you are doing this on a secluded trader, it is far easier because you do not need to worry about using Darkness or Fog. Just be warned that if your Hold Person spell fails, they may become hostile to you if they saw you casting it. You can also use a trick to get Hold Person to last indefinitely, but this may not work for everyone, and will be patched out at some point. For this trick, first have someone talk to the trader, then switch to a different character with this icon over here, and have someone cast Hold Person on the trader. Now you can pickpocket them. If you fail, just try again. While the trader is in conversation with someone, the Hold Person spell will last indefinitely. Once you have everything you want, have everyone other than the person in conversation with the trader head to camp. Now end the dialogue and have that person leave too. Now if you want to go with a 100% legitimate route, following these tips will give you the best chance for success. Start off by hiring a companion from Withers. You will want to choose the Bard because it is a halfling and will have the Halfling Luck passive feature, which will let you re-roll a 1 on your checks. They are also naturally stealthy. I recommend using a hireling for this rather than a normal party member to ensure you get the halfling's bonuses, and so you don't need to respec and change equipment anytime you want to steal. Just swap out your party members. Once you have hired them, you will want to respec them. Make them a rogue and change their ability scores by clicking here before leaving this screen. You will want to max out Dex first, then get Charisma as high as you can, then put everything else into Strength. Leave all other skills at 8. You want Dex maxed because that is the stat used for pickpocketing. Charisma is for bluffing your way out of it if you get caught, and Strength is so you have a high carry weight to take all the items you want without becoming over-encumbered. You can now level them up. I chose Arcane Trickster so I have access to Disguise Self and Fog, but you could choose any subclass you like as long as you have access to Disguise Self and a Fog spell. You could also choose a Bard for this, as they have similar skills, but I prefer the Rogue because at level 10 you get a 3rd ability score increase. Now for my gear, these are the items I chose to equip myself with. You can copy what I have, or choose other things if you have something better. I have the Pen Umbral Armor, which increases your stealth checks by 3. The Gloves of Thievery, which will give me an advantage on sleight of hand checks. The Silver Pendant, which gives you the Guidance cantrip. The Shapeshifter's Boon Ring, which will give you a 1d4 bonus to all checks when disguised. And finally, Firzu's Ring of Trading, for a +1 to Deception. I also used the Warped Headband of Intellect and the Boots of Apparent Death, which gives me the Feign Death spell, in case I want to use that. If you have the Graceful Cloth Armor, it is a better choice than what I chose, because you can get a +2 to your Dexterity, up to 20, and you can cast Cat's Grace, which gives you advantage on all your Dex checks. Now you are ready to go steal some stuff. Make sure to use Disguise Self for your bonuses. Now ungroup your party, and only have this character head to town. I recommend turning off any lights or fires nearby to increase the shadows for your stealth. And start pickpocketing. I recommend going into turn-based mode to steal. It gives you more time to get what you want. With this character's stats and boosts, you have a very low chance to fail your pickpocketing. And if you do, you have a very high chance to talk your way out of it safely. Just remember that even if you succeed in stealing, traders eventually notice that they are missing stuff and will call for the guards. If you are still in the area, they will accuse you. Just as a quick note, because I found it a bit confusing myself, the target number it gives for pickpocketing is the actual number you need to roll, plus any bonuses to your roll, such as guidance, without any ability bonuses added on. So for example, if you have a total bonus of +10, and it gives you a target of 5, the actual check for a successful pickpocket is 15. Once you have what you want, simply leave the area. It is not completely required, but I recommend giving it a long rest or 2 before going back to the trader's location, just to be safe. Well, that's it for this video. Feel free to leave a comment below with your pickpocketing methods or items you use to increase your success rate. And please like and subscribe if you liked this video. Otherwise, thanks for watching.